I started investing at 16, and while it gave me a massive head start, I made plenty of mistakes along the way. Investing seemed exciting, a little intimidating, at times frustrating, especially when I made choices that didn't pan out. If I could go back, here's what I'd do differently and what I've learned from the journey. Growing up, my parents constantly stressed the importance of saving money. It was practically a rule in our house. Every birthday check, every babysitting gig, every dollar I earned went straight into my savings account. It wasn't about spending, it was about building a financial cushion. By the time I had a few $1,000s, my dad encouraged me to start investing. His reasoning made sense. Investing would allow my money to grow over time rather than just sitting in a low-interest savings account. But when he explained that the stock market was unpredictable and I could lose money just as easily as I could make it, I panicked. Losing money felt like the worst possible outcome, so I put off investing for a while. Meanwhile, my younger brother, who had saved far less than I had, decided to jump in first. He started with a small amount, and to my surprise, he didn't lose everything overnight. That gave me the confidence to finally take the leap into investing myself, and that's when my journey began, full of excitement, uncertainty, and as I'd later realize, a handful of rookie mistakes. Mistake number 1, picking stocks at random. At 16, I had no real strategy. My dad's advice was simple: pick a company you like and buy their stock. But I wasn't exactly a brand-loyal shopper, and I didn't have much experience with major companies. The one thing I did have, a car. So I recently started driving a Ford Focus, so I figured, why not buy Ford stock? Turned out to be a terrible decision. The stock barely moved, and when it did, it was usually downward. My investment just sat there, growing, while other people around me were making solid gains. It was frustrating, and I quickly realized that picking individual stocks with no real research was a losing game, especially as a beginner. Years later, I did make some better picks, like buying Boeing during the COVID market crash, but by then, I'd already been investing for about 4 years and had a better understanding of the market. Had I started with a smarter strategy from day one, I could have avoided wasting time and money on stagnant investments. Mistake number 2, ignoring index funds. For years, I didn't even know what index funds were. No one explained them to me, and I assumed stock picking was just what investors did. Index funds are like prepackaged collections of stocks that track a major market index, such as the S&P 500. When you buy an index fund, you're automatically investing in hundreds of different companies in a single purchase. This spreads out your risk, so if one company crashes, the others help stabilize your investment. They're perfect for long-term, low-maintenance investing. Unlike individual stocks, where you need to research and monitor each company, index funds are set-it-and-forget-it investments. You don't have to worry about picking winners and losers because you own a piece of everything. To put it in perspective, here's a side-by-side comparison of VOO, an S&P 500 index fund versus Boeing stock. Boeing had massive swings, while VOO showed steady long-term growth. If I had known this at 16, I would have skipped Ford stock entirely and dumped my money into index funds instead. Mistake number 3, not investing more. Looking back, I wish I had been bolder with how much I invested. At 16, I had almost no expenses, I was living at home, didn't pay for rent, utilities, or groceries, and had no real financial obligations. I could have invested way more than I did and let compound interest work its magic. By the time I was an undergrad, I had set a goal to invest $500 a month. That might not seem like a lot, but considering I was a nursing assistant making $13.25 an hour, it was a solid amount. I worked 12-hour shifts, which mean I made about $159 per shift before taxes, so I only needed a few shifts per month to hit my goal. However, I didn't even learn about Roth IRAs until I was 20. If I had known earlier, I would have started maxing one out from the very first year I'd earned income. Roth IRAs are a game changer because your money grows tax-free, which makes a massive difference over time. At some point, I played around with an investment calculator and realized that if I just kept investing $500 a month consistently, I could retire comfortably by 65 or even become work optional in my 40s. That realization shifted my entire mindset. What I did right, despite my mistakes, I did 2 major things right. I started early. Most people don't start investing until their 30s or even 40s, but I had a huge head start. When it comes to building wealth, time in the market is much more important than timing the market. The earlier you start, the more your money can compound and grow. 2, I took advantage of market crashes. When COVID hit and stocks plummeted, I didn't panic. I bought as much as I could. During times of uncertainty, most people sell out of fear. But if you stay calm and keep buying, you can grab great stocks at a discount. It's like getting investments on sale. People who panic sold in 2020 missed out on massive gains when the market recovered. Because I held onto my investments and even bought more, I saw some of my best returns during that period. Investing is a long game, and making mistakes is part of the process. The key is to learn from them, adjust your strategy, and keep going. If I could go back, I would skip individual stock picking, go all in on index funds, max out my Roth IRA from day one, and invest even more while I had minimal expenses. But despite my early mistakes, I'm incredibly grateful I started when I did, because the earlier you invest, the more time your money has to grow. So if you're starting out, here's my best advice. Start now, even if it's just a little. Time is your greatest asset. Avoid stock picking as a beginner. Index funds are the way to go. Invest as much as you can, especially if you have low expenses. Max out a Roth IRA if you're eligible. It's one of the best investment vehicles. And stay calm during market crashes. That's when the best opportunities happen. What's been the biggest investing mistake you've made? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your experiences.